Welcome everyone to the Guiding Needle Acupuncture blog. This is Thomas. Today's topic is how to determine adrenal exhaustion and how I can help you resolve it. So first of all, let's take a look at what adrenal exhaustion is. So the adrenal glands release these hormones, adrenaline and cortisol, in response to the fight or flight stressful situations. Now, adrenaline can become depleted when there's chronic long-term stress, and if so, this is called adrenal exhaustion. So how do I test for adrenal exhaustion? I do a number of tests. In traditional Chinese medicine, I look at the radial arteries of the wrists and I determine the blood flow for the adrenal glands as well as the thyroid. And I like to see how the functionality of those organs are based on the blood flow. As well, I like to use facial diagnosis. For example, if there is dark half moons under the eyes, that's an indication of kidney exhaustion. Okay. As well as working with the pulse, we work with the tongue. And the tongue is revealing through the different locations, the coating, any cracking, if there's swelling of the tongue, tooth marks. Basically, it's a roadmap of the history of the patient. So the tongue is part of the traditional Chinese medicine diagnosis. It's very useful. And another thing that I use to determine adrenal exhaustion is blood pressure, and there's a test called Ragland's test, which involves taking the blood pressure lying down and then standing up and taking a second blood pressure. When the adrenal glands are functioning properly, the systolic pressure should rise 10 points higher than the lying down systolic pressure. The reason why is because when there's adequate adrenaline in the body, the adrenals will secrete some adrenaline into the bloodstream upon standing up, and that will constrict the veins in the lower extremities to enhance the blood pressure in the upper body cavities, the chest and the head. Therefore, the systolic blood pressure will go up at least 10 points. So if the systolic does not go up 10 points upon rising in the second blood pressure, that indicates to me that the adrenals are underproducing. They don't have enough resources to produce adrenaline to regulate blood pressure properly when standing up. So that's called Ragland's test. And I would say 1 in every 3 patients test positive for adrenal exhaustion working with this Ragland's test. And I do apply all of the diagnosis together, and so I don't go just on one. pH is another test that I can do for saliva pH to determine how acidic or alkaline the body is. Now I'd like to go over just a few of the symptoms that people may or may not be experiencing. So these are typical adrenal exhaustion symptoms. Okay, so excessive sweating or perspiration with little activity, digestive problems such as constipation, diarrhea, poor nutritional absorption. So when one is in fight or flight, if they're running from a hungry lion, they're not going to be resting and digesting. They're going to be in overdrive. They're going to be fired up and they're going to be running away from that stressful situation. So the body's response to that is to stop the digestive function, enhance the blood flow, blood oxygen and nutrition to get as much oxygen and ATP to the muscles, the musculoskeletal system, to help enhance that fight or flight response. Another symptom here, low back pain, typical textbook kidney deficiency or knee weakness or pain, dark circles under the eyes as explained, dizziness, muscle twitches, low blood sugar, heart palpitations, sensitivity to light and difficulty seeing at night, cravings for salt, low stamina for stress, and easy irritability, excess mood response after eating simple or refined carbohydrates, chronic infections. We're talking about viral, bacterial, yeast mold, fungus, parasites, and they actually do go hand in hand. When I'm speaking of parasites, I'm not saying that they have to be these massive long tapeworms. They can be these microscopic tiny parasites in the blood, and if it's a tiny microscopic parasite in the blood, it can go anywhere in the bloodstream. Low blood pressure, lightheadedness upon standing up, tired but wired feeling, poor sleep, and waking up fatigued. Cravings for sweets, carbohydrates, intolerance to alcohol, premature aging, dry, unhealthy skin with excessive pigmentation, lack of libido, cystic breasts, tendency to startle easily. And I also like to explain the relationship of the thyroid function and the adrenal function. Okay, so when the body has inflammation, the body produces through the adrenal glands cortisol. So cortisol is an anti-inflammatory. So let's take a look. So here's our scale. So if we have inflammation in the body produces this anti-inflammatory called cortisol. So this is the adrenal cortisol rising up, and in response the thyroid function decreases. So then you have your hypothyroid, you have your hypofunction, excessive adrenal function, hypothyroid function. So in order to resolve the root of the issue, we have to eliminate that inflammation in the body, and then we also have to supply the proper building blocks so that the body can manufacture its resources of adrenaline and cortisol. So giving the proper nutrition, proper sleep, elimination of toxicity, and essentially what we'd like to do is restorative exercises to eliminate inflammation, earth grounding, which means walking barefoot and connecting with the earth's free negative ions, free electrons, to eliminate inflammation. So when that happens, see what happens? The body becomes balanced again. The adrenals with the thyroid function. Okay, that's where we like to have everyone balanced and regulated. Because the body is self-regulating and self-healing. So what we have to do is we have to promote the right environment, we have to promote the proper nutrition, we have to promote the proper adequate sleep, we have to promote the proper blood circulation. Okay, so the body heals itself with blood flow. That's all the healing agents are within the blood circulatory system. So we've got all of the hormones circulating in the bloodstream, we've got the oxygen in the bloodstream, we've got the anti-inflammatories, the opioids, we've got all of the chemical messengers and the enzymes and everything floating around in the blood. So when we promote blood flow, we get adequate nutrition to the cells and the tissues, and to help promote the proper function of the adrenal glands. And also we eliminate the wastes properly through the blood circulation as well. So we bring in nutrition through the blood circulation, and we also eliminate wastes through the blood circulation. And so what I like to do with acupuncture is modulate the peripheral and central nervous systems to enhance the organ functions, to enhance the endocrine functions. And the body is designed to self-heal and regulate. So given the proper stimulus, it will balance itself out and release the tension and eliminate the stagnation. I also like to work with Chinese herbal medicine, adaptogenic herbs, to provide the building blocks, the raw constituents that the hormones are made of. So having the body produce its own hormones, but giving them the building blocks to do so. So typically, the length of time that it takes to see results, even after one treatment of acupuncture, already the patients explain to me the benefit of sleeping, enhanced energy, better digestion, so less gas, bloating, nausea, heartburn, acid reflux, normal stools, so this diarrhea or constipation is eliminated. After several treatments, at least 4 treatments, the results are quite noticeable. And then with the nutrition and the adaptogenic herbs, it may take, depending on how chronic and the severity of the condition, several months to help nourish what had been depleted. So depending on how severe the adrenal exhaustion is, we have to give the body the proper nutrition, the proper building blocks in order to restore its resources. Okay, so I'd like to add just a few more things on what you can do to improve your adrenal function. So the weak adrenals can be repaired through the following strategies. Eliminating dietary stress in the form of caffeine, tobacco, sugar, all of which force adrenal gland hormone reactions. And these also produce inflammation in the circulatory system, by the way. So we like to prevent inflammation. We like to prevent ingesting foods that are degenerative. We'd like to keep the chemicals out of the body. We'd like to keep the body in an alkaline pH, and we'd like to keep the stress managed. And in order to manage stress, we like to use mild restorative exercise. So in the form of yoga, tai chi, qigong, stretching. A person can do light exercise, walking the dog, but nothing excessive, because excessive exercise will further deplete the body's adrenal resources and aggravate things. So if a person feels fatigued after their workout, they know that they're excessively working out, and basically the body is becoming depleted faster than it's rebuilding. So the other thing is taking nutritional supplements to improve and support the adrenal function. These are adaptogenic herbs that I prescribe. I offer a complimentary consultation. Schedule at my website, www.guidingneedleacupuncture.com. Have a fantastic day. Thank you.